Welcome to Egg Tempera mixing. Tempera refers to when a pigment is tempered with a binder such as beeswax, oil, or egg to create paint. In Egypt, wax was mainly used, and in the Renaissance, we see egg tempera used to create remarkable artworks. Egg tempera paintings can often last even longer than many oil paintings. Today, this ancient medium is still in use, and its preparation process has remained virtually unchanged. Welcome to my demonstration on egg tempera mixing. So before we start the mixing of the egg tempera, I just want to go over some of the materials. The basic materials for egg tempera is of course naturally our egg. Egg tempera refers to the pigment that is tempered or changed with egg. We also have vinegar. We're going to use this to kind of keep the egg from spoiling. We have water, a little toothpick here, palette knife, and some paper towels. I'm mixing, or will be mixing, the pigment on a glass surface here. Now, depending on the pigment, you might be able to mix the material just with a palette knife, or if it's a bit more stubborn, you can use here a glass muller, so you can really grind the pigment and the egg emulsion together. But we'll test it out just with the palette knife, and I'll bring this in just in case. So the first thing that we want to do is we need to separate the egg white from the egg yolk. We're going to be using the egg yolk in this particular recipe for egg tempera. You might find that there are very different recipes for egg tempera. Some might call for the full egg with a little bit of varnish, damar varnish maybe. There's also egg tempera recipes that have a little bit of oil in them, linseed oil perhaps. This is called tempera grassa, grassa meaning fat. So you add a little bit of fat in the egg emulsion, but we're going to keep it very simple today. I will roll the egg yolk over this paper towel just a little bit to get some of that excess egg white off. Now, the egg yolk is inside of a membrane, and this yellow inside of the membrane is what we'll need for the egg tempera mixture. So I'm going to pierce this membrane very carefully. Lift this, and I'll pierce the membrane. Lightly squeeze the membrane so the yellow, the egg yolk comes out. To this egg yolk, I will add 2 drops of vinegar. You don't need too much. Okay. I'll mix this just a little bit. I'm going to add this into our cup here. Now I will add the same volume of water, same amount of water as the egg. We will mix this thoroughly. And this is our consistency. It's quite watery, which is all right. With egg tempera, normally, you don't want the egg yolk mixture to be too thick because it might risk cracking. With egg tempera, you normally apply this paint in very thin layers, so it's better to have a very smooth and almost watery consistency like this. I'll break up some of these larger particles with a palette knife. And similar to baking, I will make a little hole in here and start to slowly add some of the egg mixture. This is when we really get to understand the property of certain pigments. There are some pigments that really soak up the egg mixture and some that are a bit more difficult, so I'll add a little bit at a time. I usually like to add the same amount of egg yolk mixture to pigment. You can see that the paint is starting to form here. And I'm moving it around just with my palette knife. If you notice that there are still quite a bit large clumps in here, you can then opt to use the muller, the glass muller, and I'll demonstrate what that is. There's a serrated edge at the bottom, which is going to be quite nice because it's going to allow the pigment and the egg emulsion to bind together to a smoother consistency. You can do up and down motions, circular motions. I often do a figure 8, like this. And that, folks, is our egg tempera mixture for English red. This has a very interesting consistency. And because it's quite thick, as you paint with this, it's highly recommended to just dilute the paint with a little bit of water. You can use just a little bit of water. You can create these really bold marks with egg tempera. What I love about egg tempera is how strong and opaque these colors can be, and it will stay this intense the whole time. So And that is our egg tempera.